I'm going to be talking today about the jazz performance course in DCU. So it's that's the full title there, Bachelor's of Arts in Jazz and Contemporary Music Performance, and that's the code there if you want to do a bit more research by yourself. So just a quick look at the course. It's a 4-year degree, so it's on par with all the other courses in DCU being level 8. So this means you can go on to do a master's afterwards, and you've got a full college degree. And it is designed for the performing musician. So what this means is there's many different music courses available in level 8. So you could study to become music engineer or music composer, or like in this case, a performing musician. So it's actually the only available course in Dublin, aside from some classical courses that you get a performance degree from. So that's unique about this course. And then it prepares you for life as a professional musician. So this course is really for people who want to invest their whole life as becoming a musician, because as you will soon learn, that being a musician is not about just being one thing as a career. You will most likely become a performing musician, an educator, so maybe teaching students, and then you'll do session work as well on the side. So it's kind of a combination of different careers at once. And then studying with Ireland's premier jazz musicians and educators, they really are in Ireland anyway. The best jazz musicians are all available to this course, and they all lecture in different subjects and different instruments. So if you do decide to give this course a chance, you will soon learn that they really are the best musicians in Ireland. So like some of the skills I was looking at just there, or I was just mentioning, these are the kind of the skills you will get during this course during the 4 years. So like I said, professional performing musician, and this could be anything. This could be from playing in pop bands, like in original music bands. It could be playing in other people's bands. So a lot of time when you see a pop act or someone quite famous, the musicians in the band who you wouldn't be too familiar with, they're people who've studied music, and they're trained in performing with other musicians. So that's kind of what professional performing musician would mean. And this can also be writing your own music and starting your own band as well. The next one here, it says arranger. So this is a type of job that you will be given a piece of music. Generally, you'll be hired as an arranger maybe for certain events that require music. So you'll be given, you'll be told a certain tune. It might be a famous, well-known one, but you'll have to arrange it for different types of ensemble. So whether it be a two-person band, it could be just a singer and a piano player, and that can go up to like a 20-piece band with orchestral instruments. So you'll learn all about arranging within this course. The next one there is a composer. So you learn a lot about composition in this course, especially in the realm of jazz. So you'll be learning how to compose in all the different jazz styles. We'll talk about that in the next few slides. The next one there is music producer, and that's something I'm very interested in myself as well. So we learn about using digital software and different technology to kind of produce music in a DIY capacity, and then also about notating music online. There's a lot you can do with a laptop when it comes to music production. Music educator is like I said earlier, you can teach in different kind of formats. So you could become a private teacher, teaching instrumental lessons or singing lessons to students or young kids. You could also further your education after this course and you could do a master's, which after you finish these 4 years, you would do a master's in either you could become a secondary teacher teaching music, or else you could become a third level lecturer. So you could be lecturing in music after you did a master's, after doing this course as well. And the last one there is a session musician. So this is similar again to what I was talking about as a professional performing musician, but this also applies to studio work. So you could be recording in the studio for someone quite famous or someone quite local. It's session musicians will generally take on a lot of jobs, because they're not strictly, you don't owe any loyalty. Like, people will play in a number of bands, and some artists may record with different session musicians for each session. So you'll be well trained in tackling any of these roles as a musician. You'll learn all about all these in the 4-year course. So these are a few examples of the modules that you'll be doing across the course. So the first one there is ensemble performance. So this basically means you'll be playing in groups within college. So you'll be as early as first year, you'll be put into an ensemble. So generally we'd have drums, bass, piano, guitar, and then whatever kind of wind or horn instruments. So it could be trumpet or saxophone, and then also singers as well. So you'll be put into a group and you'll be playing jazz music. Um, and then also in first year, you get the opportunity to to explore jazz music that's, well, more accessible jazz music. So maybe some soul music, some R&B, or some funk. So that could be anything from like Stevie Wonder or Marvin Gaye. But you'll also do a lot of traditional jazz music. So um, across all 4 years as well. So you'll be starting off with quite accessible music, and then by the end of fourth year, you'll be playing different types of jazz. So like more complex bebop and stuff like that. Um, then instrumental technique. So this is a class you'll have with, depending on what instrument you have, everyone will have a one-on-one lesson with a teacher once a week. So I'm a guitarist, for example, so I'm in my fourth year and I've got a teacher who I meet once a week for a lesson, and you'll be learning how to play your instrument, basically, how to improvise, how to navigate your instrument, how to make the best out of it. And that leads me on to the next one, which is improvisation. So jazz is as an improvised music. So it's that improvisation is at the core of the music. So you'll be learning how to, in simple terms, make it up on the spot. You'll be learning all the techniques and all the things you can do on your instrument to perform jazz music. So be improvising over chords and different forms. So different jazz tunes, basically. A module you'll have for all 4 years is rhythm studies. So you'll be learning about different ways of approaching rhythm, and there's different techniques we use, such as like Indian and African techniques. So it's a lot to do with slightly to do with mathematics as well, with how we process rhythms and how we apply them to our playing. So you'll be learning, start off with just like clapping and counting, and then by the end of the course you'll be applying that to your instrument in the classes. So all these modules are they work together to make you able for the ensemble performance, basically. So all these they're all very intertwined and linked to each other. So the next one is composition. So this is probably my favorite area of the course, is where you get to compose your own music. So it will be you'll learn how to compose and the fundamentals about harmony and rhythm. So you'll learn how to what it takes to write your own composition, and then you will be kind of brought through the different decades and eras of jazz. So you'll be composing in styles like cool jazz and bebop and hard bop and groove music, all these different types of subgenres of jazz. And then music technology. So this is a module you'll have twice, I think, in second and third year. So you'll be looking at how to, first and second year, and you'll be looking at how, like, digital softwares. So like one, for example, is MuseScore, that you might be familiar with from the Leaving Cert, and then other ways of actually recording music yourself. So in a DAW, so you'll be recording music in a DIY kind of capacity in like a makeshift kind of studio. You'll learn how to do that. And then the second half of that will be music technology in a live sense. So you'll be learning how to organize the sound for a live gig. So kind of the basics of mixing and the stereo field and different types of microphones and how to put on a gig, basically. So music technology applies to studio and live work, essentially. Aerial training is the next module. So this is a really fundamental thing to jazz. It's something that you kind of develop throughout the years here. You'll learn how to identify and kind of recognize things using just your ear, and you'll be very surprised about how much your ear actually develops in such a short time. Like if you compare new students to even second years, the difference is huge. You'll learn a lot how to train your ear, how to recognize intervals and chords and different voicings. Arranging is, like I was looking at earlier, it's kind of the next step that happens after composition. So it's taking a basic composition, so it could be just chords and a melody, and then learning how to arrange that for whatever size ensemble you are required to do. So that could be, like I said, a two-piece ensemble, or it could go up to, generally the ones we would arrange for in college would be kind of 5 or 6 piece band. So that would include a rhythm section and soloists and harmony instruments. But you'll learn all about different techniques for arranging as well. Performance skills. So this is a module. This kind of applies to all of them, but performance skills is a module you take in 4th year, and it's basically about how to conduct yourself on stage and like making the most of your performances, how to get the best out of your music, basically. And then we see jazz history there. So that's a lot to do with like learning to play jazz music is a lot about understanding the culture as well and the history, and it's a really really deep history that goes within jazz, well over 100 years old, and you explore basically all the different players and all the different genres and decades that are within jazz, basically. So yeah, that's quite an interesting one you do in 1st year to learn about the culture and history. And then music cognition and critical listening. This is a module, an optional module in 4th year. I didn't do it myself, but it's basically about it's kind of neuroscience in a way about how people perceive music and how the brain responds to music, basically, and like opinion based stuff and fundamental stuff as well. So I'll move on to the next slide there. So the entry requirements for this course, it's like you probably know through the CAO. So you'll add this if you want to do this course. You'll put it as high as you want up on your CAO, and then I'll just read through here the actual requirements from the Leaving Cert. So a minimum of 6 Leaving Cert subjects at a grade ordinary 6 or higher 7, to include the subjects English or Irish and a subject and mathematics subject. And then in addition, applicants must present at least 2 subjects at grade H5. So that could be any subjects that you're doing now for the Leaving Cert at the moment. And then just for example here, the latest 1st years, the Leaving Cert points for them were 328. So then as well, the last thing as well is that because this is a performance-based course, you'll have to do an audition and a little bit of an interview. So this is not like this shouldn't be a scary thing. It's not, you're not trying to wow your lecturers, because they know like you're coming into this course without having a jazz degree, so you're not expected to play jazz. They just want to see basically your passion for music and how much you want to apply yourself to learning about music. And so that's more about the audition and the interview. So they'll talk to you about that as well. If you do choose to do this course, you'll have you'll be given information about that, about the audition and the interview, and they're very short, the 2 of them. And then so that's there for this year. It will be between March and July. So again, so if you are interested in doing this course, if you put it on your CO, I think they'll get in contact with you about a certain date to do your audition. Another thing that's unique about this course is, if any of you are interested in jazz already, you might have heard about the Berklee College of Music. So this is by far the most notorious and most famous music college in the world, pretty much, when it comes to jazz. And so there is a transfer opportunity. You can go there for a year. I didn't do it myself, but it's a huge opportunity if it is something you're interested in. So DCU has a strong connection with the Berklee College, so it's a unique thing that not all colleges can say that they do a transfer with Berklee. And then there's a website there if you want to take more information about that college. Yeah, this is another slide again about the Berklee Global Partnership. So just basically just about the connection they have and the bond they have about sharing students and sharing some lectures will go around not only to Berklee, but they'll kind of travel around the world, usually in Europe and America, doing classes in different universities. So you'll get a chance to, even if you don't participate in the Berklee partnership, you will get guest lectures and master classes put on by the college free of charge for you to participate in, and they're really, really beneficial. These are a few other Berklee colleges or schools that are connected to DCU. So that includes France, Brazil, Spain, Malaysia, Canada, Japan, Greece, Finland, and Korea. So yeah, I'll go on to the next slide. So this is more about DCU as a whole and less about the actual course, but these are a few things about DCU. It's the #1 graduate employment rate in Ireland. So that means it's the highest amount of people who are employed straight after graduating from college out of all the colleges in Ireland. So including UCD and Trinity and all those. yeah, a few other achievements. University of the Year 2021. When it says here now about internship opportunities, that doesn't quite apply to the jazz course, because basically, like, going out and playing jazz is more of an internship in this course. So in a way, you do get that opportunity. You will get an opportunity to play with your lecturers outside of college if that's something you're interested in, and playing with other musicians. So that in a way is an internship. So you will get chances to play with real professionals and really qualified musicians. The study year abroad, so that's like what I was talking about with Berkeley and all these other colleges that are abroad. And usually each year you'll be given, it will be a specific college in mind that whatever year you choose to do it. So you can talk about that with the respective people in the college if that's something you want to do. Work closely with industry partners. So yeah, it obviously the music industry in Ireland is quite small, so there's but so a lot of them are connected to DCU, and they would know how, especially in the jazz world, they would work closely with them. The facilities in DCU are great. Like, we've got, in terms of music anyway, the rooms we use for jazz are exclusive to us. So the other courses around St. Pat's in that campus, it's strictly for jazz students. So you will have them to yourself, and you can book them outside of hours to practice with a band or by yourself as well. So that's a great addition. And yeah, just to finish off with DCU Jazz. So it's, like I said, it's a performance course. So you'll be trained in becoming a professional performance musician, and alongside all the other things I talked about, as well as arranging and composing. But it is a performance course, so you will be a fully trained performer when it comes to music. You will get many performance opportunities. Like, even obviously within college, you'll get chances to perform, but also it gives you a lot of opportunities. Like, I'd be performing quite regularly through connections I made in college, and if that's something you're interested in, this course would be great for you. And then you can preparation for masters. So once you finish this degree, you can, if you're interested, do a postgraduate in masters such as composition, film scoring, or music teaching. High level instrument and vocal training. So like I said, and it's not to forget, the vocal training is considered, or your vocal is considered an instrument. So you can apply to become a jazz singer in this course, or like a pianist or a guitarist or a bassist as well. So bear that in mind. And then acquire the skills to be an international standard performing musician. So this is like, once you complete this course, you will, by the time you finish this, you will be able to communicate and play with people you don't even share language with. So you could play jazz with someone from Brazil, and you'll be well able for that with the skills you learn in this course. And then as well, just one of the best things is the community of musicians. Like, everyone in your year, if you're interested in music, everyone in your year is going to be in the same boat. It's a really nice community within, and as well, not a lot of courses can say that all 4 years have a very close connection. So like, you'll be playing with and just hanging out with people from first, second, third, or fourth year. There's not a lot of boundaries when it comes to that, because the courses are so small. So if you want to get any more information, these are some sites, and there's 2 email contacts there if you have any questions. So I'll leave that there. And if anyone has any questions, I'll hang on for a few minutes. If anyone has any questions, you can just type them into the chat. Okay, so if not, those emails are there. They'll be available as well. If there's any information you want to recap on, you can find this course at DC014 in the DCU catalog.